Peace, family. Welcome to another episode Underground Railroad Productions. This is your host, Father Rich.
Father Rich.
I'm here with none other than King Simon. You see his sweater. Numbers are simple. People are complicated. You already know what it's about to be. During the show, we're going to get into some science. We're going to get into some science.
Yes,
I was just actually kicking it with King Simon before we turn on the camera about Buju Banton. Am I saying his name right?
Buju Banton, right.
And I didn't know he was that big. Like, I seen his concert. I seen the footage of the concert, and it looked like he shut Jamaica down. Like, it looked amazing, brother.
Over 30,000
30,000. Wow.
There. Because that stadium, approximate national stadium in Jamaica, holds 30,000 people. And then you got to think about the VIP and the people on the outskirts, and then all of us watching. It was the energy. And 30,000 is a good number because Jamaica in numerology adds up to 3.
Jamaica, yeah.
The word Jamaica.
This is a 3-year. We about to get into that.
And the Vortex was open in Jamaica for that.
Wow. Well, let's touch on that because we're going to get into numerology. But you said Buju Banton opened up a vortex.
He opened up a very highly spiritual vortex for someone who just came out of prison after almost 10 years of serving so-called drug charges. Shows you that Jamaica is a forgiving country. Most Caribbeans are very forgiving, especially of their own, because Dennis Brown was also accused of drugs at one time. Gregory Isaac, who's also born the same day as Buju Banton, was accused of drugs. Even Bob Marley was accused of using drugs at one time. So this is very important to know that we forgive our artists when they go through their trials because we know that they're just men and women. They're not God or whatever. They're God in the sense of man being God, but they're not. In a human form, we're fallible. We can cause problems. But Buju, what he did in Jamaica in a number 3 year, in a number 3 month, March.
Oh man, now oh man,
we mess it up. We don't understand that 5 frequency that he went into on a number 16 day, which was the 16th, March 16th. It's a spiritual 7. That's a 7 which opens, a spiritual opening and revelations. And everybody that came out flew from all over the world to see Buju. You seen the footage?
Yeah, man.
I got pictures on Instagram from it. Friends of mine was in there. The Morgan Heritage was there. All the MCs and DJs from out of New York was there. DJ Roy, Bobby Condas, and Jabba, all of them were there. And I text a few of them. And let me just share with the audience what I text Gramps and a few of the DJs out there that was out there. I said, peace, Gramps. This would have been a good time to call a major DJ and artist meeting in Jamaica to discuss keeping the integrity of Jamaican music all over the world, because Buju just opened a spiritual vortex and has just sent ripples throughout the universe. That's what I sent one of the major artists out there that sang with him on stage. And he sent me back and sent some blessings to me. He said, and one of the brothers that texted me, Steely Bashman, said, "You're right, King Simon. This would have been a good time." But what's so interesting about that vortex opening that Buju sent across the world is that there's a person named Vybz Kartel in jail also right now. And he is a Capricorn energy. He's born January 7th. Buju was born July the 15th. And if anybody know astrology or numerology, but more so astrology, Capricorn is a opposition to Cancer. So what I'm feeling that they might try to do to offset that ripple is try to release that Vybz Kartel, who came with a lot of the so-called negative, the bleaching of the skin.
That's the dude that bleed vibes.
Right, him. Yes, and he's one of the most powerful and positive and most powerful DJs right now in jail. Right now, still in jail and recording. So because Cancer is an opposition, or Capricorn is an opposition to Cancer, and Buju's a Cancer, he's a Capricorn, think about this. If they release Vybz Kartel and he comes back out with the same vigor of music that he came out with, the gun music and the sex and the bleaching and the promoting of that, that can cause problems for Buju's frequency. But I feel because Vibes is in there getting locks and getting more reading and starting to more study, I feel that Buju and Vibes Cartel, they don't want them to unite and start doing what they're supposed to do as far as promoting reggae on a higher level, because this would be, but they would try to do, I think they would try to do that, put him out there just because to offset Buju's ripple that he just caused. But it's inevitable. Buju, we needed Buju's music to come back out as far as the young people, because now he's like 45 years of age after 10 years of being in prison, and he was at the top of his game then. So when he came back on stage, he didn't miss a beat. Even Vibes Cartel had to send an Instagram. Now, he sent an Instagram in prison. That's deep. Buju couldn't do that. But Buju had to use his promotional team to help him, like Destiny Media and all that. But it's so important that reggae artists that listen, because a lot of reggae artists and Jamaicans and Caribbean people watch this show. We have to bring back the balance in the music. It can't just be gun talk and just sex talk and disrespecting women talk. It has to be some more consciousness back, like Bob and everybody else. Because Bob sang about love, but he sang about consciousness. Bernard Spears sings about love, but he sings about consciousness. You got to bring the balance. So Buju has opened up that vortex in this #3 year, in a #3 month, on a spiritual day, and he opened it up and brought, and you know what's so funny? He's in the crossroads of his life right now. Going through family, he's in the 6th year, which deals with family, going into a 7th year, which deals with spirituality. Now, a lot of people know that on social media, Buju and his son was going at it. Family now. So the need for balance and harmony was needed as soon as he came out of prison. He needed to balance it out, but his son was going at him, but they resolved it. And Buju refused to go to social media and become negative. And he said, don't care about the distractions. That's one of his sayings. He said, don't care about the distractions because I'm not. So his son went against him, but at the end of the concert, the next day, his son went on Instagram and made an apology. So Buju's in that frequency of reflection because he's in that family, going into a 7th frequency, family, the 6th energy dealing with family, balance, harmony, and truth. But also the 7 energy dealing with reflection and thinking about what to do and how to make certain moves. He made the right move by not going out against his son, but he had to do that, and then his son actually came back to him and showed him love just because he didn't go out. Because he could have put out something on his son and would have destroyed his whole son's career if Buju wanted to do that. But it wouldn't make no sense because it's a family thing. You should have kept it in the family. Just because you and your father, just like if your son grows up and he decides to argue with you, it shouldn't go out to social media. It should never go out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what's important. So Buju, respect to you. I used to work with him back in 1992, and I've even emceed shows with him back in 1999 and various other shows right here in New York City at Forest Hill Stadium, Steeplechase Park. I've worked with him in Jammin's production. So I've been an MC on those stages back in the day for years. So I know him for a long time. So
we talked about this this vortex
that
got opened up.
Yes, sir.
You know, us as so-called black people, we got scattered all over the world, and we created things in different parts of the world. Reggae, very, very important to humanity.
Yes, sir.
You know, this Caribbean music, it taps into a certain frequency, unlike a very peaceful music when used right. Like you said, Vibes came with a more, I remember he had the song that was popping a couple of years ago, Fever.
Yes.
Real raunchy.
Real raunchy.
Real raunchy.
You're my best at raunch. Believe me. Best at that.
But can you talk to me about, is there some science behind, like, it's called reggae? Is there like some numerology you could do to reggae, the number, that explains why it affects people the way it affects people? You know what I'm saying?
We could do that right now. Yeah, and I like doing that.
Because reggae, man, you think about Bob Marley and you think about Caribbean music, and it just puts you in a certain mood, a certain mind frame.
Exactly. What's so interesting...
Is it like a water energy or something like that?
Well, we're going to find out right now. We're going to do it. I've done it before, but now you put me on the spot to do it again.
He's on the spot, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, the pressure's on him. The pressure is on him.
It's all right.
This is going to determine whether you get phone calls tonight, brother.
What's so interesting, first and foremost, in the Chaldean system of numerology, reggae adds up to the number 19, which is a number 10, which is a 1. So it's destined to be a leader in what it does.
Right.
The 1 and the 9 represents the sun in Chaldean numerology also represents the sun. And what does the sun do? Shine its light. That's what so reggae in its word, and because it adds up to R is in the Chaldean system is a number 2, the 5 is a number, E is a number 5, the double G's are 3s, and the 1 and the 5, the A and the E are 1 and 5, which adds up to a 19, which is a 10. And in numerology, the 10 is also known as the Wheel of Fortune. And it could go for good or evil, because in Chaldean numerology, you got to understand everything has, and in numerology in general, everything has a balance. So you could either take it down the negative road or the higher road. It still would be successful because of its number 1 energy. And then the number 3, the double GG, the 3 energy represents a higher vibration of expression, of love. That's why reggae have so much love. But remember, what they sing is sometimes called reggae dance hall. Bob Marley sang reggae, right. But it's still reggae. But dance hall was the popping music that was started. Bob Marley's more slower pitch and all that rubber dub and that love and all that kind of stuff. So there's different genres of the reggae music, from rubber dub, ska, and all that. But it was really reggae that came about, that Bob Marley really got to travel all over the world. So reggae's frequency already we know is a number 1. So it's supposed to be a number 1 energy. And because of the double 3 and the double 3 energy in the Cal, people might not get this yet, but once you start studying numerology, you understand there's 2 different systems, 2 different main systems. One of the most popular systems is the Pythagorean system, which is under the European, after he went and learned under India and Africa. And then there's the Chaldean, which is the older system that comes out of Africa and India, this type of system. So that 33 is under the older system. The 77 is in the Pythagorean system. And of course, that 77, everybody knows 77 deals that spirituality, that travel energy, that also adaptive energy, especially when you add the numbers up. But understanding reggae is destined to be what it is just because its numbers tell me it's supposed to be what it is. So yeah, reggae does have that kind of energy. Just to answer your question, it does have that spiritual energy.
I mean, hey, you came up with that real fast, brother.
Well, I'm doing it on paper. You know?
Around what time did dancehall start come around?
Well, dancehall came out according to...
And what, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
With dancehall, you know how hip-hop was conscious, Public Enemy,
right,
and all of these groups, and then it went the gangster route with NWA. Would dancehall be like similar to that, where reggae was like conscious and then dancehall took it in another direction, like gangster music did to hip-hop?
That's interesting that you say that. Yes, you're absolutely right, because there was an era of what we call mento in Jamaica. Then it went to ska. Then it went to rock steady, and then it came to what we call reggae and then dancehall. So that was an era that transcended all of that, because in different eras, mento was like more string music. Then the rock steady was more rubber dub or love music being translated to the music. And then they started slowing up the beat instead of doing just the string music, but just a guitar and a few little drums.
Right.
And then they went to from mento to ska, reggae. Then it was reggae dancehall, but also rubber dub, or what we call I can't remember the word, but the rubber dub music, what we call rock steady or lovers rock, that was also in between the transition of reggae and all that. But, you know, people that are, you know, that can best explain that is somebody like friends of mine that has been like Gussie Clark from out of Jamaica. They have the history locked in their minds with this. Like people like other reggae, old school reggae, like Burning Spear, they got the history of what went on and how, because they're still alive today and still doing what they got to do. But reggae has gone through its transition, but it started with mento and then ska.
So the next question would be is,
yes,
people think in America that it was a conspiracy that the gangster music came out. So do you think that it was a conspiracy that it went from this loving reggae music to dancehall music? Because now, when people might say, well, why are they talking about music? Music is the most powerful thing in the world to influence the people. musicians have more power than rulers, kings, queens, presidents, all types of people. I mean, when you look at the power these musicians have, there's a spell that it could cast over the people with music. So was it a conspiracy like people think it was a conspiracy here in the United States?
I believe it's not, because I was a reggae artist around the late 80s.
Right. So you was there.
Yeah, I was there. I went up to number 5 on the reggae charts back in the day alongside the Yellow Man, and I was there with Shabba, and I was there with Super Cat. I believe Jamaica, remember, Kool Herc is the one that they say is one of the founders of hip hop. But he was also from Jamaica, St. Andrews, Jamaica, and he brought that type of dance hall stuff and playing and mixing to the music to the parks of the Bronx back in the day. And then everybody like Bam and all those people followed suit. Reggae, I think, started following what America was doing after a while, the dance hall.
Oh,
that's what it is. Because you see, it started getting popular. And then when it started getting popular from the NWA and all that stuff, that's when reggae artists started following suit on that whole gun talk and all that. That's when it got even much more stronger and much more heavier. And it's not that we wasn't singing all about that sex and gun talk. I could take you back to people like, some old names like, of course, Rankin Joe, and people like a good friend of mine's. He died also. These people have not Rankin Joe haven't died, but people like Johnny Ringo, and some people like what's this guy's name? I forgot one of the other guys, but these guys used to sing a lot of sex tunes also. But it got even much more stronger when we started collaborating and working with the hip hop artists, because you know it was Shabba and all of them that started breaking through. But Yellow Man is the one that got most popular with a lot of the sex tunes also. And then Shabba came in with a lot of it. And then you seen Buju and Beanie and all the rest of these artists, and the Lady Saws and all the different things. So it was, the hip-hop and reggae and dancehall has always had this little connection, especially because Kool Herc was from Jamaica, and he was doing a lot, and he was like one of the founding fathers of hip-hop, and he was doing a lot to bring in that type of dancehall style and reggae. So I believe that dancehall was more following suit to what was going on in America, because America usually set the pace for a lot of things. We want their clothing, we want their food, we want all of that. So it usually sets the place for a lot of things. And I've been in Jamaica, and I've seen people go to McDonald's in Jamaica. I said, what the hell McDonald's doing here in Jamaica when we got all this fresh food and stuff? They got if you looked on the Buju Banton thing, KFC was one of the sponsors. KFC. Kentucky Fried Chicken, when you could in Jamaica back in my day when I was growing up out there, we used to be able to go in our backyard and get a chicken and kill it and break its neck and then go and pluck it and do what we gotta do. It's crazy, man. It's crazy with that stuff. But yeah, it's real, man. Jamaica and hip hop has always had that between sharing energies with each other back in the day also.
That relationship, yeah.
Always had it.
Always been really, yeah, right.
Always had it.
Indeed. Let's get into, wow, I mean, this is some interesting stuff, man. Let's get into this number 3 year. You've been going around saying this is the year of exposure, expansion. Last year. Yeah. You said it on, I think, on my show.
Yeah, I said it on your show also.
Exposure, expansion, and what else?
An expression.
An expression.
On negative and the positive.
Right.
So so
far, how is that panning out? Is that,
brother? We've seen the repercussions. We've seen the repercussions already. People are being exposed. Like I said, 2 + 0 + 1 + 9 = 3. But like myself and people like Lloyd Strayhorn would say, like, the sneak peek months were in the end of September going into October, November, December. So we started seeing a lot of revealing of different people and a lot of revealing of different things coming out to the forefront. But it just started coming up. Even as you got close into December, you seen what happened to R. Kelly, which is so interesting to me because R. Kelly is born January the 8th. And January the 8th plus this year, this particular year, equals a number 3. So he's in also an exposure type level of, if you're not handling or dealing, because in a 3 year, let me be very clear with people. In a 3 year, if you're not speaking with responsibility and you're speaking reckless and you're doing reckless things and you're not doing things with responsibility, you will be revealed. That's just what the 3 year shows. So there's a positive and negative. Just like Steve Harvey and what happened with Monique. Steve is born January 17th. which is the same energy as R. Kelly. Both of them are in a 3-year. So when that took place, it happened in a 3-year after his birthday. So that also reveals something about Steve Harvey, and he's still been getting the backlash off of that. Also, what's happened to Michael Jackson? Because in numerology, we go from birthday to birthday, and some numerology go from year to year. But Michael Jackson is also in a 3-year. Right now, that guy Jussie Smollett is also in a 3-year, born June the 21st. He's also in a 3-year. Yeah, so think about these threes that keep...
Hell of a coincidence.
Oh, wait, coincidence?
A coincidence?
I mean, I sound like a young thug. Coincidence.
Soulja Boy, that's Soulja Boy.
Yeah, coincidence. Coinky-dink. Hell no. And like I said on your show about the ADOS in numerology, it adds up to a number 3.
ADOS
adds up to a number 3. When you asked me about it, and then I told you that the Democratic Party was founded on January 8th. So they're being exposed for what they are, not wanting to back the rep. So it all works together. It's no coincidence. Everything is synchronicity. And me and Rich believe in synchronicity. We don't care. We don't know if you believe in it, but I'm telling you, the numbers don't lie. It can be manipulated by forces that have an own computers and know what to do. But when it comes to the personal, when it comes to actual natural mathematics, you can't manipulate numbers. You can do it if you control the system that's producing statistics, but you can't do it when it comes to the person. You can't do it when it comes to natural mathematics like algebra and all that. You can't manipulate numbers. 1 + 1 will always be 2. No doubt. Peace.
Quick comment before I get into the next question.
Yes, sir.
Yo, synchronicity is so strong. You know, synchronicity shows that there's something else to this universe. Yes, you know, like it's not, you know, just mechanical. That's like this. Like you have some type of control over what's going on or something like that. Right. I was in the living room one. This was like 2 weeks ago, and I was going to take me and my girl was going to take some pictures of my son, and we was going to go to Harlem, this place called Numero Uno. And I literally. I called her and I was like, "Yo, we going to Numero Uno." And as I said that, a cartoon we was watching PBS. The PBS was on. She wasn't home. I was on the phone with her. But PBS was on, and a little girl in a cartoon said Numero Uno. I said, "What the fuck?" I said, I felt like I was being like somebody was watching me, man. I said, what the fuck is the chances of me saying Numero Uno and then the TV says Numero Uno? I said, oh shit, oh shit.
Numero Uno, number 1. That's what it means.
I said, wow, that's some hell of a synchronicity. What's the chances of that happening, man?
But Rich, you are an old soul. You're old soul energy. You're born on the 17th. You're old soul energy. So old stuff, and because the 7 in your 1 and 7 is a spiritual revelation all the time. So you're always being revealed to things. Yeah. It's just like me coming to you that time and said, "Yo, you number 8, man. It's not for you. You know, do your thing, man. You got to make this money."
Yeah, you told me. I was having a slow day that day. I was like, "Damn, man, this money." You was like, "Nigga, you at number 8." Yo, you made me feel so good that day.
Yo, that's how you
made me feel, and that you remind me. You know the saying, "Know thyself."
Know thyself.
You reminded me of who I am. I forgot. I got caught up in the Matrix. And I'm thinking I'm this character. But I'm beyond this character. Who I am is beyond the physical realm.
Exactly. And you're the person that you and me been in the cold.
Yeah.
So we have reached a certain heights that we don't even be out there like that no more.
Exactly.
I hire people to give out flyers. Yeah, and I still do it.
You got a whole team, yeah.
But I got a team now. But that's why I do a new thing called numerovation.
I see you keep using that word.
I invented that word, numeroversity.
I want to get into that a little later.
Yeah, no problem.
Numerovation.
But you see how you say you got motivated? I use numbers to motivate people. That's how numerovation is. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, go ahead.
Now, King 7, now we're talking about this year 2019 and it being a number 3 year.
Yes, sir.
Now, my question to you would be, what if I don't go by the Gregorian calendar? What if the people on Sentinel Island or something like that, and I go by a whole different calendar. Where my calendar, it's the year 5085 or something like that. Just putting out a number like that.
That's good.
Am I still influenced by the number 3? Because
not if you're in the Seminole Islands and that's your culture. Because that's what.
So this 3 year. This is a university. It's
a universal year as far as we know, media wise, as far as we know, world wise, and as far as we know as the so-called quote unquote modern world. If somebody of an ancient culture is going by 592, and let's say they decide, like, okay, let's say the Jewish calendar, you'll find that they have 5,000 or 6,000 years on their original calendar. they might go by that too, but they still have to adhere to where they're living. Like, give unto Caesar's what is Caesar's, and give unto the Lord what is the Lord. They still go by their original calendar. So, matter of fact, Raku asked me that before about, and Raku is deep. He said, the only thing I have a problem with is with numerology is because if it's a 5,000 years history in China, and then over here, how does that work? I said, well, if they're resonating with that energy, it goes by culture. It's that culture, what they say. So you resonate with that energy.
Because they collectively agree that it's 2019 or whatever, so they get judged by or influenced by
that until they come over here. Because there's a lot of people that I've done reading from that came from Africa and came from other places, and they had to change their name and their birthday. So whatever you, because it's all in the mind is mental, so whatever you resonate with for that time when you change your name, that is what, and change your birthday, that's is what you're going to go in. That's what the vibe is going to start picking up, because that's what you have chosen to accept.
That's why they said be careful what you call yourself.
Be careful what you call yourself. You better call yourself straight. Stop playing.
Wow, man.
Yeah, but it's real. No, because you can, like people have the Kemetic calendar and all that, but you're still here in America, because at the end of the day, you're going to look at this phone and still see 2019. Even if you're going by the Kemetic calendar, that might be 495. It might be 495, year 495. But if you in your private setting amongst your people are going by that calendar, like the Wapians might do another calendar, the original Jewish calendar might be, and certain other people, then that is what you go in your personal space. But when you get back out here in the so-called unquote modern world, you have to adhere to the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the 1, 2, 3. But 1, 2, 3 in any culture, any numbers in any culture doesn't change the frequency of the number. It's still the same. So even if you're born February 1st, 30, 44, that if you add that still up, you add that up to that, then you'll still get the resonant energy that will be your personal year in 3034. So it goes with wherever you decide to go. So if I move to China and decide to chill out in China, big up to the sister Allie who moved to China with her husband, who met at my election, they moved to China, and they have a new calendar, then I would start resonating and connecting with that calendar. But the dates on the calendar don't change in Chinese either. And the meaning in Chinese numerology doesn't change, because I have books on Chinese numerology. They don't change either. It's just that you've changed where you live, and now you have to abide by their system. That's all.
How important are the shapes of numbers?
Ooh. That's a good one. I love it.
How important are the shapes?
What's so interesting
like
about
8,
that?
7,
no,
I'm 69. Shit like that.
That's one of my favorite numbers. Now, let me stop. That's actually connected to Cancer sometimes, but and that's the yin and yang. But what's so interesting, the 1 in numerology is a straight line, because in numerology you have the lines and the curves. So each one of them, if you have a 1 that's male, that's a male energy, the linear, the straight line, the lines.
Okay, right.
If you have a curve, although 3 in numerology is called a male energy because it's a fire number, the 3 has curves. Mm-hmm. So that also has a female dynamic to it. So 6 is a feminine number. That's a full curve. See, people understand that. 9 would be female and male because it's a curve and then it goes down. And sometimes it's curved. But in numerology, it's called a fire number that is also connected to the male energy. It is a female number with the curves, just like a woman's body has that.
Right.
That bottle shape. Yeah. There's a curve. So yes, the curve and lines are very important when you see numbers. And usually when I read numbers from a holistic perspective, I would look at those type of things also. See, I don't just read numerology because of Pythagorean. I don't read numerology because of Chaldean. I read numbers because of what my spirit tells me to go with, because it helps to bring out the intuitive faculties also to make things tangible. And you know what I found out, Rich? When I called the California psychics, I got a reading from a California psychic. And then I started hearing her breakdowns numerology. So at the end of the session, although she was bringing out certain things out of her psyche, I realized at the end of the session, I said, ma'am, can I ask you, were you doing a form of numerology on me also? She said, yes, I'm doing a form of Kabbalah. I said, but I beg your pardon. I thought you was a psychic that just drew from the... But psychics use numerology too, because numerology does bring out that psychic and intuitive powers in you, but they use a lot of that stuff also to make it tangible to you. Make it tangible related to your birthday, because a lot of them ask you your birthday. A lot of people ask your birthday, and then they say they're just doing psychic readings, but they really are tapping into the numbers, because numbers are the physical representation of you here on earth. That just makes you, give you order, give you, it's objective. It gives you the understanding of your negativity and your positive. That's why I always like to tell people in their readings about their negative. You got to know your negative, because if you don't know your negative, how are you going to better yourself to be positive again? How you going to better yourself? So
negative, like being your dark side?
Yeah, your dark side.
What's my dark side again?
The 8 dark side now is karmic. It's a karmic number. It's connected to Saturn. You also have to be careful of drugs in your life, over addiction. Be careful of addiction in your life, going down the wrong path as far as dealing with money in your life, being a drug dealer and all that. Right. You had to, those are the negative of a number 8, especially people born under 17, because you're a legacy leaver. Now, 17 in its compound number represents someone who's supposed, their name is supposed to live on after them after they die. You and brother Lord Jamal is born the same day.
Right.
You, Steve Harvey is born on the 17th. Shabba Ranks is born on the 17th. Muhammad Ali is born on the 17th. Michael Jordan is born on the 17th. Les Brown is born on the 17th. Y'all leave legacies if you stay on your most positive and productive life path and do what you got to do, because that's your personal number, and that works. And my life path is a 17. So I'm supposed to leave. That's why I wrote books, to leave legacies. Indeed. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's big, man.
You got a lot of books with you today.
Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about.
We're going to get into that. Let me ask you this, King Simon. Now, so-called black people, yes, we're known to be very, 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 very creative.
Yes, sir.
So we make something out of nothing.
That's true.
So this language that we call the English language, we use Ebonics a lot, and we create our own words. And our artists, since we're talking about artists, let's talk about Michael Jackson for a second.
Please, yes.
Michael Jackson would just bust out in a song and say, "Mama say, Mama sa, umaku sa." Now, nobody knows what the hell that means. So how would a numerologist do the numerology on Mama Say, Mama Sawu? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
what's so funny? Mama Say, Mama Sawu, Makusa came from an earlier productions. That was I can't remember the name of the woman that did that, but Mama Say, Mama Sawu, Makusa was something he added on, because of that, at that time you add in the lyrics.
Right.
But what's so interesting, we would write out the word If it's just like writing supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I would write out the whole goddamn word. It could be a long ass word, and then we'll do it, because numerology is the only system that transposes words into numbers, or letters into numbers, and each one of them have a meaning from A to Z. Only system in this whole universe that has that, and it's for a reason, because each letter has a significant meaning, especially when you do the Kabbalah or you do the Gematria and all those different types of numerology. It has a specific meaning that can help guide the person. I specifically into guidance. So when I do your name, I do your name. I show you your destiny in your name. I show you your inner feelings in your name. I show you the outer feelings in your name, because that's what numerology brings. And if I was supposed to write such a Mama Say, Mama Sama, Makusa, I'm sure I would find a resonant energy. But I know, because of the amount of M's and A's in it, I know it is a 4 and a 1. 4 and 1 are 5. 4 and 1. Mama is M is a 4, A is always a 1. M is a 4, A is always a 1 in the Chaldean and the Pythagorean system numerology. So right there it tells me mama, ma. That number 5 deals with being adaptable, being expressive, being expansion, and also deals with a certain, the M represents the 4 that deals with structure, organization. Anybody that has an M in the first of their name, either the first or your last name, merit, tells me you pay attention to details.
No, I never told you my middle name is Michael.
Oh, your middle name, but Merritt is your last name, right?
Yeah.
Michael, wow, you got and Michael's a master number. It adds up to a 33 or 22. It's adds up to one of those master numbers in numerology.
I got 2 middle. My full name Richard Michael Swift Merritt.
What?
I see this something.
You got a whole business. You got a whole business going on.
My father's last name was Swift.
Yeah, I remember you said that at the.
So Richard Richard Michael Swift Merritt. Yeah, I never
and you
told
could use each one of them for business.
Yeah.
But Michael, I always tell people born with Michael, you have to, Michael's under the number 22 because the master number 22 sometimes goes through some hard life. Especially that number. If you notice Michael Jackson, Michael Tyson, Michael Jordan, Michael Noakes, they go through some hard lives. They go through some rough life because it's such a master number, and it's resonating with the Michael energy of the angelic sphere. And that's one of the roughest angels out there. One of those angels that come to do some work. That's why people got to pay attention to the name, how you name your child, because you could also put struggle on your child as well as goodness and prosperity on your child. I think I read your child's name and it added up to a number 17, which is an 8. I mean, I could do it right now, but you know, I remember
we do that off camera. We do that off.
Okay. You know what?
We do that off camera.
But I'm just saying.
Okay, I want to ask you this now.
Excuse me.
Great conversation, by the way.
Thank you,
thanks everybody for tuning in. Once again, I'm with King Simon, your numerology, numerator.
Numerationist. That's right, numerational. Numerator. I'm changing it up now. I'm making a new stuff for it.
Now, you just got me this, I just got an amazing book from King Simon. I don't know if you can see it. I was talking about, telling people about it the other day. Oh, you can't, it's blurry right now.
Can I push it back here? What do you want?
Let me see.
You want me to hold it?
Let me see. It's on autofocus.
How you did?
Well, I'll show it to y'all. I'll show it to you another way.
It's a good book.
But it's called Keys to Inner Space. Let me fix this camera. By Lehman Heisey. And resonated with me. I told King Simon I gotta have it, so I just bought it from him.
Synchronicity.
Yeah, amazing. So what I want to ask you about now, we have the, you know, they say as above, so below.
Yes, sir.
As within, so without. Inner space, outer space.
Yes, sir.
If we go inside, we dig deep within us, the universe that exists inside of us. The movie The Matrix.
Yes, sir.
There's this scene, there's this famous poster, or this famous image of Neo.
Yes.
And it's, you can see this, right?
Yes.
And it's green,
right.
and the numbers are, and the numbers are just going down.
Right.
Is that how it looks in our universe? If we're numbers, inside me is my DNA structured? You know how like everything has a shape?
Right.
Are there some numbers going up and down me like it is in the Matrix? That would be some deep shit right there. Imagine.
I can't attest to that. But because if you study the director's cuts and what they had to study, the metaphysical books that they had to study,
right.
I wouldn't doubt that.
Be surprised.
Because remember, in astrophysics, physicists all around the world says the universe is mathematics. Everybody says it. The Hawkins, the Neil deGrasse Tyson, all of them said it. From everybody. So it's possible that it is.
Like imagine if I'm having a thought about money, and then the numbers that correlate with money is flowing through my body, like 6, 7, 8, 5, 2, 3, 32, or whatever.
Exactly.
Like that shouldn't be bad.
But actually, Rich, in actuality, the numbers that are connected to you and me through our birthdays and our name can actually help us facilitate and develop our skills to get money. That's why, if you notice, my Cash App is $ King Simon 3158. Those are all my numbers correlated to my birthday. 3158. 3 represents expansion. 1 represents creativity. 5 represents freedom and adaptability. And 8 represents money and power. So in order for me to get that money and power, I have to expand. I have to maintain creativity. I have to be adaptable. And that's how I make my money. That's how it works for me. That's what I show people. That's why I motivate people through numbers. Show them that their numbers tell them what they're supposed to do if you're willing to listen to it. But like my book says, numbers are simple. People are complicated. We have been hurt. We've been traumatized and all that kind of stuff. And some of us have not been guided right by our own parents. We wasn't guided to these modalities like what Ra'aku is doing or what the priesthood is doing. We're not guided to that. And we need to get back to it, because when religion came in and told us that we shouldn't do this, they was trying to control us. And numerology and astrology is not to control us. It's to guide us to be better and guide us to our highest frequency. So yes, the numbers are very important. Even your numbers. Oh, that's why I was able to say 17 is what it is. That's why I wasn't able to run up to you and say, I didn't even talk about your other numbers. I just said, you're number 17, you're number 8, Rich. Man, you money. That's money, power, executive moves. That's what that number is all about. And that's why I was able to tap right into it. And you made $700, $800 that day, right?
Yeah. What number is America? Since America.
Very good.
What number?
Founded on July the 4th, 1776. So the alignment number of the 11 is, of America is already the number 11. When you add the 7 plus the 4, 11. So on the negative of 11, it deals with deception. On the positive of the number 11, I'm just giving you one word right now. On the negative of the number 11 is deception and deceiving, or two words. And the positive of the number 11 is being a visionary. Creative visionary.
So you will go by the birth of America or the name?
I'll go by the birth of America, because at that time, you could read the name America, but I'm going by the birth of America.
Okay.
And if people understand numerology and how I've been talking about it on my channel, King Simon Presents, 7 and 4 are known as the mental numbers. And usually people that under 7 and 4 have mental issues and mental problems. Now, we got to remember when people came here to America, they sent the criminals over here to build America. So they sent people with mental problems, mental issues over here to build America. We ain't even thinking about that. So look what we've produced over this time of being free from England to be over here. So that's why I look at if you look at reading Lloyd's book, it talks about, in Lloyd's new book and his old book, he talks about the birth or the founding names of each state and all those type of things. So it's good to also find the founding names of these things. Like, of course, Delaware was founded on December the 7th. And New York is founded at another number. But America in general was born under. Now, let's add that up. Let's add that up and show you what's that all about. See, I'm going to break it down to you real nice. So 7 plus 4 plus 1776 equals 1787. Now, if you add that 1 plus 7 plus 8 plus 7, that equals 23, which is a 5. So the number 23 is one of those most successful numbers in Chaldean numerology, but also 5 is also a number of disaster if they don't use the energy right. Because when I read the word disaster in numerology, it adds up to a number 5. I'm saying, oh, and 5 in numerology is also the number of people that can handle crisis and disasters. That's why most people that have 5 energy can go into crisis management. They could be in disaster preparedness. They could do all that kind of stuff. Because I have a lot of 5 energy around me, especially in my name. My destiny of my name, my original name, my birth name is all 5, is a 5. So I deal with that. But America has been the land of the free. What, is that the land of the free? That's what they call it? Number 5 is known as the freedom number. Now, this is his life path. It's called the freedom number, but yet everything in America we know ain't free. So that's where the deception of America comes in with that 11 number that I read about. That's the deception of America, because everything in America ain't free. That's not the truth. 4 deals with structure and discipline and communication and technology. So America uses technology very well and willing to hire other people from China and India to develop their technological strength here in America. So they're willing to do all that. So the numbers of America tells me everything about America. That's why when I read somebody born on July 4th, I always laugh, because I've known people born on the 4th, the 13th, the 22nd, and the 31st of the month to be deeply troubled by certain things, or depressed about certain things, or holding things in their head. And then I know people that's born on the 7th of the month, the 16th of the month, and the 25th of the month, that shows that they're always worrying, or they need to protect their mind, because they always hold in their deep thoughts also. That's why I tell people that those 2 numbers are depressive numbers if you don't stay positive and listen to motivational speakers and listen to motivational lectures and things that motivate you. So America, again, is 1776, that adds up to a 23, which deals with flexibility and all that kind of stuff. But there's a duality in all numbers. There's a duality in all numbers, and people just need to understand that's how this thing works as far as numbers is concerned.
Deep, man. Let's get into this numerovator.
Numerovation.
Yeah. Get in that and some of these magnificent books you got, my brother.
Yes, sir. First and foremost, I want to thank you and your audience for, of course, always. And I tell people I'm always going to advertise on Brother Rich, because advertising doesn't cost, it pays. That's why did somebody call you about advertising, brother from Washington or D.C.?
Yeah, he did. Maryland.
Yeah,
I'm glad you said that. I got to get back to the brother.
Please call him, because me, Professor Griff, and Joe Brown are doing something. So definitely. And if you
tell the brother, I would love to interview Judge Joe Brown over the phone. So tell him,
no problem. Once you talk to him, just make it happen, because you always have Griff on and all that kind of stuff. So I always, and that's what's so important. Because I know Rich is a supporter of myself, I'm a supporter of him, and we got to share the wealth. Stop holding on to it. That's why we into circulating the funds, and it will come back to you in abundance. Reverend Ike has taught this. People like this man here, The Power of Decision, teaches that. This one is called The Power of Decision by Raymond Charles Barker. A step-by-step program to overcome indecision and live without failure forever. Because most of us out there are having problems with making decisions. Some of us like to second guess ourselves. If he would have second guessed himself, the person would have bought it that night because somebody else DM'd me and said, boom, I want that book.
That's facts.
And Rich has to stay on that point. He can't, you can't, what happens sometimes we overthink certain things. When it's like, boom, you should just jump on it. If it's a positive and productive thought pattern, jump on it. So this book, The Power of Decision, is very important to have by Raymond Charles Barker. It was referred by Reverend Ike, the Gemini spirit. Okay? So the next book I would say get is The Road to Your Best Stuff. This is a black man, a brother who's the mentor of Les Brown, or the Jejna of Les Brown. And it says, Taking Your Career, Business, or Cause to the Next Level by Mr. Mike Williams. Les Brown mentions him all the time, and he even did the foreword in this book. This is a very good book to help open you up to what you need to find in you. When I do a numerology reading, I let you know your gift, your basic gifts, skills, and talents. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to be consistent and persistent and push on. It's not an event, it's a process, family. And you've been going through so many foolishness in your life to up to now when you decide to call me or call Ra Aku or call the priesthood or call whoever's doing astrology and numerology at this time. It's all this mess you're going through can be guided through as long as you stay on point. That's why I do numerovation. Help to guide people or motivate people with numbers. I let you know what 1 through 9 is on a motivated level, so you can say, and most people that get off the phone with me, because I get on the phone with them real hype, like I'm full of energy because I'm happy to meet them, Rich. I'm happy to meet them. I'm happy to talk to them because I see so much in their numbers and their name tell me so much. The numbers tell me so much. I'm like, boom. And sometimes I tell people, record, pay for the recording, because I'm telling you, when I start downloading, and I make sure I have a whole bunch of books in front of me, but I start talking and downloading first, and then if my spirit said reach for this book to confirm certain things, then I reach for the book. Just like I reach for this book sometimes. This one is called See Your Dream Job. This one is called See Your Dream Job by Sue Fredericks. A career intuitive shows you how to discover what you were put on this earth to do. Very good book. What you show you what to discover, what you was put on this earth for. And she uses numerology and astrology in this book. I give the books just like Panic and Brother Bobby Hemmett give those books, because I'm not hiding nothing. I'm not going to be here forever. I'm here to share. I'm here to share with you what you need. Also, people that are finding and seeing angel numbers a lot. Very good book by Doreen Virtue. On Angel Numbers 101. She got from 1 all the way to 999 in this book. And she gives the basics of it, and when I get into breaking it down, I touch on some of this, but remember, numbers have a duality. So if you're not operating on the master numbers, or you're not operating on the angel numbers when you start seeing it continually, then you're going down the negative road of it, because you're not operating on the higher vibration of the number. So if I see 999, I know it represents completion, because numbers deal with completion, but it represents multiple things that I need to complete in my life in order to be successful, because 999 equals 27, equals 27. So that 2 and 7 is also one of those numbers that deal with success, but dealing with spiritual success, spiritual guidance, and spiritual understanding. But I must see things to a completion. Anytime you see a bunch of 9s, it says you got to complete something. You got to finish the job. You can't just start and stop something. You got to complete it. So if you're born under the 9th, you got to handle that. If you're born connected to the number 9 or the 18 or the 27th of the month, you got to see things to completion and stop second guessing your abilities and your talent, because the number 9 is a universal number. It universally attracts things on the positive. On the negative, it attracts police, it attracts fires, it attracts electrical problems. Remember I broke down about your house one time, going through the fire. You said the fire alarm kept on going off and all that, because it adds up to a number 9. Yes, these things.
It just went off the other day when I was doing a show with Griff. They was like, man, what the hell going on in there, man? What, you in a warehouse or something?
That number 9 energy. You can fix it over and over again and it keep on happening.
Bro, it just goes off like the littlest thing.
The littlest thing.
And it goes off.
That's how deep the numbers are connected to your health. They're connected to where you should move, to places you should live, to things that feel... Because some people are living in states that they're not even supposed to be in because they was raised by their mama. Maybe your mommy and daddy was supposed to be there, but maybe you're supposed to move out of there. That's real. Like, Brother Rich is born under the number 8. The 1 and 7 are the keys to this. Although the 8 is one of the opposition numbers to New York, but it says that he has to overcome the opposition of New York and just strive and ride in it, because the 1 and the 7 actually works with New York. So that's a good thing for me. That's a good thing when I see people like him. That's why in New York he's thriving strongly, but he would do well even more on an earthly level. Like, after this, I think he's going to buy land and just get out of this. He's going to do what he got to do because he's an earth sign. And that's what they need. They need to get out of the hustle and bustle cities and then go somewhere and just go chill and relax and get your mind right and get your meditation.
When I get older, I want to live in Jamaica.
Blood clot! You ready for that?
Yeah, I'll be ready, man.
You ready for that? Okay.
Yeah. That's when I get older. Like,
what's so funny, the number 3 is one of your challenge numbers. So in order to overcome that challenge, you got to prepare for it. In other words, you got to make sure you have the money to live out there.
Right.
Because Jamaica's a Spanish place, but like I said, because of the 3 and the 8 energy, they have a little fire and earth colliding here. And in numerology, then you have the Jupiter planet against the Saturn. They're not really friendly in astrology, so you got to also pay attention to if you move there, make sure you ask me the numbers to the parish, and make sure you get a number that correlates with you and your wife's birthdays and your numbers, and then I can definitely help you. If I'm still alive. I don't know if I'm going to be still here. I don't know. Just saying.
What else you got there? Is that it? Is that everything?
My book, of course. Numbers are simple. People are complicated. Get that on Amazon and Kindle or on Dr. Africa, Laila Africa's website. And my other book, Numbers Are Simple, Children's Health is Important. I gave you this book, right?
No, but I need it.
Well, I'm gonna give it to you right now. I'm gonna sign it over to you right now. It says property of King Simon and family, but I'll sign it over to you right now because this is a good book for children's. It's a full color book. It deals with health. I also got Phil Valentine's name for people like vaccinations and all that. I got all the major websites. I got all the recommended reading in the back for health if you want it. Very good book for not just children, but for adults from 1 to 31. Because everybody's born on either the 1st all the way to the 31st of the month. And this breaks down the basics of what to look out for as a child is getting old. Like, of course, your son born on the 2nd, that child need to be handled gently. Cruelty is not good to handle with that child. It needs love. It needs to be shown love all the time. It has to have like 2 kisses a day or 2 hugs a day. You have to show it love, and it will start shining and blooming. That's how powerful.
I really noticed that. He loves love. He loves
love. That's the number 2 energy. They love sensitivity. Any kind of meanness is going to be upsetting to him. It's like if y'all started fighting, you'll start seeing him scream and yelling. And if you start arguing in front of him, you and your wife, he'll start screaming and yelling or getting upset and like nervous or what, because he's feeling the energy. Because they're very intuitive and very sensitive to what's going on. Oh, he's an empath. He's already an empath. So keep him on that meditation. Teach him meditation early so he can start astral traveling and leaving here real quick.
Yeah, I let him see me meditating in a lotus position. He just be looking at me like I'm crazy. Like,
but he gonna say, what is Daddy doing? You know you don't have to do that, Daddy. Let me tell you what you do. Just sit down, put a bottle in my mouth, and we gonna fly. Like Panic said, you don't need to do all of that. But Panic is a number 7, so I understand when he says that. That's the reality. But yeah, he gonna be a powerhouse, brother. He gonna be a power. Anything else? Big up anything else?
What you got coming up? I know you got some events.
Yeah.
Tell the people. I'm getting ready to do an interview with Shahrazad Ali. Yes. Also Ashwa Kwesi within the next couple of weeks.
Yes.
You bringing them to New York. Tell the people about that.
Okay, we're gonna get into it real quick. First of all, April 13th, I will be in Maryland, of course, at the Everlasting Life restaurant with an astrologer named Quiet Storm. That's called the Black Power Blueprint series. So I'm gonna show people how numerology is helpful to building our people that believes and understands black power, because without black power, you can't have black power without green power. So stay focused. So if everybody's built up to understand it, I'm gonna show everybody numerology. I'm going actually from chalkboard from chalk to chalkboard on this one. I'm not doing no PowerPoint, because in PowerPoint it too confines me. I need it right there. I need to be able to change and erase and make things happen. So April 13th, I'm doing that. April 28th, I sent you the flyer to change it, but you didn't get to change it. You didn't get to change it.
Damn.
Don't worry. It's April 28th. We're going to be at the National Black Theater. First time
back at the National Black Theater? Oh, man, that's beautiful.
And I got to thank Queen Afua and Ali, because they're co-producers and co-sponsors for this, and they wanted us to heal the relationship so we can get back in there. So I'm going to be in the theater space, not the temple space. I'm going to be in the theater space, and that holds like 174 people to 200 people. And it got vendors is limited, so you got to text me or call me at 347-496-1022. But April 28th, go to KingSimonProductions.eventbrite.com. That's KingSimonProductions.eventbrite.com. I got VIP tickets also. Front seat includes DVD, includes some fruit and beverages, and of course, guaranteed front seat, because I only have 20 front seat tickets over there. But you have to text me or call me at 347-496-1022. And remember, there will be a live stream for all those around the world, all your 200 to 300,000 followers, Rich. There will be a live stream, but only Sister Shahrazad Ali will be live streamed. And Rich put that in my head, like, yo, brother, you can't let them. Rich really did put that in my head. And Sister Shahrazad Ali, because she never travels overseas, this will be her first time ever doing a live stream, because they do believe in their own intellectual property. But what I do have set up with is that we're going to do the live stream. As soon as it finishes, we're going to probably take it down within a week, and you won't be able to get it again. But you got to pay for the live stream to see this live stream. And Sister Shahrazad Ali will be speaking on monogamy and polygamy, which is better for the black man and woman. And then Ashra Kwesi comes up second, and he will be speaking on Quran and Bible revisited. But I know Richard's face like, yeah, Quran and Bible revisited. Why and why are we still following our enemy's dogmatic religions? He's going to be speaking on that. Live performance by United Front coming in hard, and Natasha Dezzoni is going to be doing a monologue on healing and health. She's from one of the sacred women's under Queen Afua, and Queen Afua will be there. Brother Ali, Brother Rich, I think is coming. You coming, Rich?
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, because we're doing all the backstage. Also, May the 5th, I got a conversation with Dr. Africa and Dr. Melanie at Nicholas, Brooklyn, and on June 23rd, Numerovation seminar and workshop with myself, Lloyd Strayhorn, and a female numerologist from Detroit named Kaya French at a secret location, only 60 people allowed. It will be on my KingSimonProductions.eventbrite.com. And if you want any products, you want my shirt and all this kind of stuff, go to KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com/products. That's KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com/products. You can get the books and the 2 books right now. Go to the links on the 2 books. But this will be available within another week or 2, because I got a whole host of them, because I'm going to have individual numbers with birthdays, and I want to be able to make them just like that with people's numbers on it. Numbers are simple with their number right under it. So we're going to make it happen, my brother. Thank you, Brother Rich.
Well, I don't know if I asked you this before. Oh, as far as numbers, like I'm a number 8 or somebody's number 2.
Yeah.
Should a certain number wear a certain color?
Very good. Yes, sir. Like one of the best colors for a number 8 is black, blue, certain dark colors. Those are one of the best colors for number 8. That's one. For number 9.
But why? Why?
Because number eight deals with the dark side energy. That's one thing about it. And it's positive in the dark. So don't let get people.
I'm going to inner space, man. I'm in this black magic.
Yeah, you know
my name, Black Magic.
Exactly. No coincidence.
No coincidence. Black Magic.
No coincidence.
It's funny, yo, Black Magic. That wasn't rehearsed, people.
No, it was not rehearsed. Was not rehearsed. But that is exactly why you chose that, and that because that energy, that state of it resonates with you. That's why you chose that black. And it's from the 17 energy, which is an 8. So 9 represents, I'm gonna give you the basic color. Red is the basic color for 9. Going back to 1 is gold or yellow. Number 2 is usually blue or green. Number 3 is either lavender is one of, and purple is one of the colors for 3. 4 also deals with blue or crimson colors. 5 can deal with gray or yellow. 6 deals with green and blue or cream. And you got 7 that also deals with blue or cream or white colors. So those different numbers have a correlation. What's best to get in brother Lloyd Strayhorn's book is in Lloyd Strayhorn book's Numbers and You. That's a good book to have also because he runs that down. Also, any book by Edgar Cayce, he drops it also. Edgar Cayce. And matter of fact, that book you got, he mentions Edgar Cayce and writes some stuff about Edgar Cayce. Huh? And yes, he writes something about Edgar Cayce in that book also. So yeah, numbers have a correlation with colors. Numbers have a correlation with health. Numbers have a correlation with your building. Numbers have a correlation to where you move, where you live. Numbers are here to guide you so you can be the very best you can be in this life. If you choose to go down to negative, then it becomes destructive. That's just because numbers are objective. It doesn't care whether you're this or that. It's just, I'm just giving you the meaning of it, and then you move accordingly after I do a numerology session with you.
Another dope interview, man.
My brother. Well,
people better take this serious, man.
They gotta take this serious
shit here, man.
This new motivation thing, man. It's about move because there's a lot of people that are going through a lot of issues, and people call me from off of your show, off of Sonetta and different other shows. They're going through a lot of stress, and if you find out your numbers and use them well, it can help you. But it is a process. It's not an event. It's not 3 days. It's not. It takes your time and your wherewithal to make it happen. And if you want to get a numerology session with me, please text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. Or email me at numbers, the letter R, simple @gmail. Or if you're overseas or in Canada, hit me up on WhatsApp at 347-496-1022, man. Thank you very much, Rich. I want to thank you and your beautiful wife and your son. I seen, oh, man, he was just smiling, man. Yeah, you just seen him smiling with me, man. And, you know, sometimes children don't just smile with other people. He never met me. Yeah. So it's like, you know, but remember, he was looking around, too. Yeah, so I know he's seeing angels and all kinds. Oh, right. they follow me. they've been following me since I was a child. They've been guiding me in my sleep and all that. They come to me in my sleep.
That's what's up.
Yo, but thank you, Brother Rich, all the time. And support Brother Rich. What's your cash app, brother, please?
Black Magic 363. Also,
and King Simon 3158.
Also, Red Pill is finally making the Patreon video family on 322. So the 22nd. There's going to be an explosive lecture from Red Pill. It's going to be exclusive to the Patriot members, so stay tuned for that.
I'm proud
and
of
besides that, we are signing out. Thanks for tuning in another magnificent session with the brother King Simon. Make sure you contact the brother. The brother has been a tremendous help in my life, and I'm sure he could be in yours as well. Peace, family.
Peace.